Do not book with TUI. Don't trust TUI. Will never fly with TUI again. TUI don't care about your family. Rest in peace, TUI. TUI is no longer the reputable company it was. They clearly are only interested in getting your money, not interested in the service that you are expected to receive. Sadly, TUI is now a very poor holiday company. Avoid. These were just some of the most recent TripAdvisor reviews of TUI UK. So this week I decided to take a flight with them, see if I can figure out what has happened to what used to be the UK's favourite holiday company. So join me as I take a trip from East Midlands Airport to the Greek island of Kos on one of their Boeing 737-800s. Well, a very good afternoon to you all. Welcome back to Hammers About. My name's James and welcome to East Midlands Airport. And that's because I'm going on holiday. And today I'm doing so with the UK airline TUI. Now, over the years, TUI have been running for countless years and they've pretty much always been the top dog, the number one for leisure travel in the UK. However, over the past few years, they've been knocked down a peg or two by their big rivals Jet2 and even EasyJet holidays. So we're going to take a trip with them today on one of their Boeing 737-800 planes, and we're going to see if TUI really is still the best, and if not, why not? I might need to go and drop off my suitcase, get checked in. I'll check back with you when we get through security. So let's go. Right, here we are, airside at East Midlands Airport and all checked in, ready for our flight. And we're going down to the Greek island of Kos with TUI today, as mentioned on one of their Boeing 737-800s. So what is going on at TUI? Well, that's what we're here to find out, because for 30 plus years now, TUI have been the go-to airline for your leisure and holiday travel needs really in the UK. But the past couple of years, they've really been seemingly taken a downturn. Their customer satisfaction rating and travel scores all seem to have taken a drop, and they've really taken a backseat, especially in the case of Jet2, who have really dominated the market in the recent years. And now they're even falling behind to low-cost competitor EasyJet holidays. So TUI, who for ages have a stronghold on the UK holiday market, all of a sudden find themselves in third place. So this is going to be an interesting flight. I mean, I'm looking forward to it because I'm going on holiday, so I'm going to be having a couple of drinks when I get on board. So I promise I'll keep the video professional. Don't worry, there will be no drunk James on this video. Maybe. Anyway, so it will be really interesting to see what TUI is like after over 30 years of operating and try and figure out why they've gone downhill recently. Anyway, I'm going to sit here until it's time to go on board. You know what, I might go and get a drink actually. That sounds like a good idea. We are on holiday after all. It was soon time to commence boarding, and today our flight would be operated by this 16-and-a-half-year-old Boeing 737-800. Right, here we are. We've finally boarded our Boeing 737-800 with TUI, bound for the Greek island of Kos today. Now, first impressions are, it's not bad. This seat seems quite comfortable. I'll tell you what, I've actually got a ton of legroom. I'll show you a bit more about that later on. It's definitely an older aircraft, this. I'll show you more, you can tell. I think it's a 16-odd-year-old plane, but yeah, this should do for the journey. I do have people next to me though, so I'm not sure I'm going to get any great window shots, but we'll see what we can do. So I was sat on row 17 behind the overwings. The overwing row in front of me wasn't there, so they required somebody to move. So here we go. Filming can commence. What a win. We pushed back from the gate about 25 minutes late, ready to depart on our journey to Kos. Did you know that I'm now on Instagram? Why not drop a follow to keep up to date with me as I post live from upcoming filming trips at hammers_about. We soon lined up on runway 27 here at East Midlands, ready for our takeoff. So here we are, ladies and gentlemen, just airborne out of East Midlands Airport. We ended up leaving around 25 minutes late due to an air traffic control restriction slot, which is more than fine. It's understandable with how busy the skies are over Europe now. The crew just did an announcement. They seemed quite friendly, actually. I was having a chat with the bloke operating, stood around the overwing area where he was giving him a brief. He seemed very nice. I'm going to get myself a drink in. Since we are on holiday, it is a completely buy on board service. On board there is no pre-order, there's nothing included in your price with TUI. That is the same with Jet2 and EasyJet holidays as well. But the prices aren't too bad. I'm going to treat myself to a couple of gins, 2 gins for £11.50 plus a Sprite, so maybe about 13-14 quid, which for on a plane, I think that's alright. For those of you wondering, am I travelling on holiday on my own? I'm not. I do have my fiancée with me. She just doesn't want to be on camera. She's a very shy woman. But yeah, so we're going to enjoy this trip hopefully, and I'll give you a seat tour very shortly. Right, well, I think now is as good a time as any to give you guys a seat tour on TUI's Boeing 737-800. So here is our seat area. Firstly, the legroom. I do have to give a bit of a biased opinion on this because I am in an overwing seat, so there is a lot of legroom, luckily. Obviously, I don't know how that is on normal seats, so I can only go off what I'm giving you today. So the overwing exit's very nice. Now, the thing with it being an overwing exit is there's no tray table in front of you. It's actually in this seat. And this is where we can also find these little things which indicate this plane's age. So my table lifts out like this. And there we are. However, it's not very flat, so if I put any drinks in there, I think they're going to go over there. It should be sat, I think, about there. And well, I might have to keep it folded over like that, or my drinks are going to fall all over the floor. We don't want to waste good gin. Obviously, on the overwing seat, you have got the overwing exit itself. A nice large window, which is relatively clean, and yeah, I'd say drop down window blind, but there's one that goes in. Oh, there we go. It does go up, it's just a bit stiff. It's a lovely day for flying. And here is the main attraction, the actual seat itself. I have to say I'm quite impressed with these. They're wide enough, and they offer really good padding actually in the back as well. And the headrest is really comfortable, so I'm very impressed with TUI's seats. And they also do have here, they do recline a little bit. There are people sat behind me though, so I'm not going to recline the seat. Just out of being nice, but they do recline, which neither EasyJet or Jet2's own seats do. So that's 1 point to TUI. So overall, it's actually quite a large, spacious, and very comfortable seat. So this is more than going to do for the 3 hours and 45 down to Kos today. Apart from it being a slightly dated aircraft, which we do have in the skies around in the UK, so there isn't anything wrong with that. It's quite nice, it's comfy, it's spacious. It's not bad on board. Here we are in one of the rear toilets of the TUI 737-800, and it's just a toilet. It's nothing special. It's just a standard 800 toilet. You've got your baby changing, got your toilet, sink, everything. There's me. Hi guys. Yeah, it's fairly clean to say. We've been in the sky about 2 hours as well, so it's being well maintained by the crew, I'd say. Apart from a couple of passengers who, despite the fact there is a bin right there, have all left their rubbish on the side. It's just some people, isn't it? Like, they're either just really thick or they just don't care. But yeah, that's the toilet. That's the toilet review on the TUI 800. It's just an 800 toilet. So about 2 hours into the flight now, and to be honest, I'm actually quite impressed with TUI. You know, like, apart from this being a slightly older plane, so it does show some signs of age. I mean, we can't give that all to TUI because the majority of TUI's planes are actually the more modern 737 MAX 8 aircraft. It's just unfortunate for today we got one of these old ones, and you can tell that it is an older plane, but it is still being kept really clean by the crew. The crew themselves are really friendly. They've been really chatty when they came down on the bar, served us a few drinks. They seem in a good mood, and everybody on board seems in a good mood. Obviously, everyone's going on holiday. But yeah, so to be honest, I can't see why, from this flight particularly, why TUI seems to be going down in the ratings. I mean, there must be some reason. Maybe we've just dropped lucky with a good crew and a good flight on a good day. I don't know. But so far, all is well. And I'm quite enjoying my flight, to be honest.
As the sun set over the stunning Croatian coastline, it was time to reflect on today's flight with TUI. Now, to be honest, from this flight, I couldn't figure out why TUI's ratings have been dropping recently. It was a really comfortable flight on, yes, an old but well-maintained and clean aircraft with a very welcoming and friendly crew on board. From my experience with TUI today, I'd actually give them a solid 9 out of 10 and would be more than happy to fly with them again in the future. Now, I don't know the exact cost of today's flight, as the price of the flight was included in the cost of my overall package holiday to Kos. We ended up landing in Kos bang on time, and that means it was time for me to go and enjoy my holiday.
So here we are, ladies and gentlemen, we've finally arrived in the beautiful island of Kos on a quite comfortable and enjoyable flight with TUI. Now, I'd have to say I did really enjoy that flight. It was very comfortable, it was smooth, and I did quite have a good experience with TUI, so I don't really know why the ratings have gone down. Anyway, I need to go and get on my transfer codes to get over to my hotel to hopefully have a great holiday here, as I'm spending a week here in the island of Kos now. So if you have made it this far, thank you very much for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and let me know down in the comments what you guys think of TUI. So once again, if you have made it this far, thank you very much, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Goodbye for now.